Yes. Good morning, class. Yes, welcome to Lagos Progressive Junior Secondary School online class. And as usual, you, you all should have recognized who is talking by now. I still remain my humble self, Mr. Ademola, your business studies teacher. Today, in business studies, we'll be moving on to lesson 6. And under lesson 6, our topic for today is going to be banking services. Banking services. Yes. Under this topic, banking services, our objective will be that after the lesson, students should be able to 1. Define the meaning of banking. Yes, define banking. 2. List the types of banking. List the types of banks. List the types of banks. Then the third objective will be to be able to explain the meaning and functions of commercial banks. Explain the meaning and functions of commercial bank. And the last objective will be to be able to explain the services rendered by commercial banks. All these are the 4 objectives that we are expected to achieve during this our lesson on banking services. During the last class, we did a test, and in our test, I will say I am impressed by your turnouts and performances. Though I would have expected that at least all of you should have scored 100 in the test. But that notwithstanding, I am still impressed with your participation and your performance, because majority of you scored 90%. Keep it up, keep it up, and keep it up. So let us move on to our topic for today, like I rightly said, which is banking service. To start with, we are going to look at the meaning of bank. Yes, the meaning of bank. I can see you nodding your heads that okay, we have seen various banks around you. Yes, okay, yes, you have even been to banks to do one thing or another. So let us look at what we mean by bank today. Like I already said, our first objective is to look at the meaning of bank. And when we are talking about banks, banks are financial institutions that are charged with the responsibility of keeping money and other important valuable documents. Yes, if you look at that definition, it has been able to give us a comprehensive approach on what we mean by bank. That is why we define it in a comprehensive way by saying it is a financial institution that is charged with the responsibilities of keeping money and other important valuable documents. It is also an aid to trade that helps to provide money for starting or expanding business. You remember doing one of our class where we did something under in commerce, where we did trade and aids to trade. Remember, under aids to trade, we said aids to trade are those activities that make trading possible, and one of such activities that makes trading possible, there we said it is bank. So when we are talking about bank, like I rightly said, bank is a financial institution that is charged with the responsibility of keeping money and other valuable documents. And it also helps businesses to borrow money for improving or expanding their business. A lot of business around us rely on bank loans to expand on and improve on their business, which if bank is not available as an aid to trade, automatically such money will not be available for them to expand. And if expansion is not possible, automatically such business is likely to fold up or remain shrink or small the way they are. That now takes us to types of bank. Majorly, we have 5 major types of bank. We have majorly 5 types of bank, and the first one is called the central bank. first one is called the central bank. The second one is called commercial banks. The third one is called mortgage bank. The fourth one is called merchant bank, and the last one is called development banks. All these five are the major types of bank that we have around the world. Although there are some other types of bank too, but like I have said, these are the major types of bank we have. And for this last, we are going to focus on the second one, which is commercial banks. Yes, we are going to focus on the second one, which is commercial banks. Now let's take a look at what do we mean by commercial bank. When we are talking about commercial bank is the most common types of bank anywhere in the world. They are the most common types of bank anywhere in the world. In fact, in some places they refer to them as people's bank because people can go into them and do one transaction or the other. So let's look at what we mean by commercial bank. Commercial banks are those financial institutions that are charged with the responsibility of keeping money or other important valuable documents for people. They are the financial institutions that are charged with the responsibility of keeping money or other valuable documents for people. And like I already said, they are the most common type of bank anywhere in the world where people can easily go to keep their money, keep their valuable documents, or even go to borrow loans. They are the most common types of bank anywhere in the world. And around us in Nigeria here, we have many of commercial bank, and some of them includes the likes of First Bank, the likes of GTB Bank, the likes of UBA Bank, and also FCMB Bank, Intercontinental Bank, and so on and so forth. All these are examples of commercial banks. Let's now look at some of the functions of commercial banks. One of their functions is that, like I said, they are people's bank, and because they are people's bank, they help in keeping money for people. You know, at times to keep money at home is very risky. So one of the safest place that you can keep your money is inside the bank, which is one of the commercial bank's function. Another function of the commercial bank is that they help people to keep important documents. Yes, you might be wondering that documents kept inside bank. Yes, there are some documents that are very important, and when you keep it at home, God forbid, something unwanted can happen to them. For instance, will that is prepared by people to so that in case if the unforeseen happen and leads to death, instead of their family fighting over their properties, they would have prepared a will, like that is a statement instructing on how their property be should be shared among their families when they died. Some documents are very important documents, and the only safe place where you can keep them is to keep them inside the bank. And commercial bank does that as one of its functions. The third function they perform is that they give loans to people and business. They give loans to people and business. Yes, a lot of people need one loan, that is some sort of borrowing to improve on their personal life or on their businesses. And the only place where they can get such loan is from commercial banks. And that is also one of the functions of the commercial. The fourth one is that they give financial advice to customers. Yes, they give financial advice to customers. You know, a lot of us go to the bank to borrow money. At times, if you are not properly guided on what we want to use that money for, we might tend to fall a victim of fraudsters' magic. So one of the functions of the commercial bank is that they give advice on how such money can be used by the person that wants to come and borrow loan. Or even if it is your money that you put inside their bank, they will also give you an advice on how you can make that money to become plenty. Then the fifth one that I said there is that they act as an agent to their customers. They act as an agent of paying or transacting business on behalf of their customers, which will reduce the risk for such customers. That now takes us to services rendered by commercial banks. They have a lot of services that is rendered by commercial banks, but I have only mentioned two major ones. The first one is savings account. Yes, savings account. As the name implies, to save, that is to keep money that you are not in need of immediately at a particular time till when you are in need of them. And the only safe place that you can keep them is inside the bank. And then commercial bank is the bank where people can easily go into and keep their money. Let's now look at what we mean by savings account. Savings account is a type of account that is opened by low income earners or students who intend to keep or save part of their money that are not immediately needed by them till when they are needed, so that they will not spend it unwisely. Now, in this type of accounts, the owner of or the person that is opening this account will be allowed to a certain percentage interest at the end of the month. Also, for you to operate this type of account, you must have what is called a passbook. Though nowadays, because of the modern trade and because of the information technology, we don't need passbooks most of the time again to operate savings account. Then the second type of account is the current account. When we are talking about current account is a type of account that is meant for businessmen or workers who frequently needs money either on a daily basis or actively to do one thing or the other. Because they need money frequently, automatically most of the money, it is not safe for them to keep it at home. So the only place where they can keep them is inside their bank. So anytime they need them, because it is something they can call for at any time, they too are expected to pay a certain percentage of charges to the bank at the end of the month. And for them to use this type of account, they are going to need a check. Now, that check allows them to give an instruction to the bank to pay a certain amount of money on behalf of them to the person that is presenting that check. All these are some of the services rendered by commercial banks. Any questions so far for what we have been discussing? Yes. If you have any further question, you all by now should have known my email address. Send it to my email address juwon1518@gmail.com or my WhatsApp number as usual, which you have with you. Now I have an assignment for you as usual. Now for your assignments, a link is going to be provided for you below. Click on the link and follow the instruction for you to answer the questions correctly. That's the link that I just came in, so you click on it and it will direct you to where you are expected to answer the question that is being provided as your assignment. That is all we have for today. We'll see you during our next class. Have a pleasant